What up? What is happening? This is Hoppe Hour. I am your host, Ryan Hoppe, and I am very proud to announce the guest I have right now live on Hoppe Hour. He is the one and only Johnny B from the Bone Daily Rewind Show and his show with his name, The Johnny B Show on 102.5 The Bone from 10 to 1 a.m. on Saturday nights. He is live. What's up, Johnny?
I'm not you. I'm Ryan Hoppe.
You sound like Billy Madison when you're doing that.
Bitches. It's me, Billy. My buddy Nard.
It's a big toss-up between you, Galvin, and Drew on who does the best impersonation of my voice. What is the key to getting it down, Johnny?
You just have to sound like you don't have very much brain left in you. Maybe it's so badass. Damn, I have cats, and I just, I was in Cleveland. Kind of picture myself as the worst thing that I could possibly be. And then it comes to me.
And with no coordination or social skills?
No social skills. Hey, lady.
Man, you went all in on making fun of me already. I'm going to love this podcast.
It's what I do, Ryan Hoppe. I'm a giant jerk-off.
Where did you grow up as a kid?
Tampa. I think I'm the only host that is born and raised. A lot of guys have been here for a long time, but I grew up in Seminole Heights, not too far from Hillsborough High School, where I went to high school.
And when did you know you wanted to go into comedy? Because you have a lot of edginess that reminds me of a lot of comedians. So when did you know you wanted to go into it?
Who do I remind you of?
You remind me a little bit of like...
Ryan Hoppe. You remind me of me.
You kind of remind me of those comedians you would see at like the SNL roast. You know what I mean? Like, you're very upfront. You get right to the point. Like, you begin...
I'm a dick. As a ball buster, I'm that type of guy.
You would do good at a roast.
Yeah, I've done a few roasts, only one with popular people, and I went way over because I wrote too many jokes, and that was the Cowhead roast last year. I knew I was going over when everybody started saying, hey, you fat prick, you're going over. But it flew right by to me. I didn't know. But yeah, I mean, I make fun of a lot of people in my stand-up and on the radio. But, I make fun of myself more than anybody else, so I think you get a pass.
It's one of those, like, things where I notice that when you make fun of people, it's never like that mean. You're not like a jerk, shock jock. You're just really abrupt and mean.
Like a shock jock. Yeah, I don't try to do that. The thing that I've tried to do mainly with my radio show on the weekend, the Johnny B Show, which eventually I would love to have 5 days a week, and also on the Bone Daily Rewind Show, whether I'm in seat 1 or 2, I try to just be myself because I don't like it when people put on a persona and, they come in and they're like, okay, the radio's on. Now I'm douchebag man.
Or I'm timid guy. I don't know what I'm going to say. I'm timid.
Or I'm just over the top like, oh, what's going on around here, everybody? I try to just be myself because, it comes over more natural. And all the guys that I respect in radio, that's what I have found, that they've found their own voice somewhere along the way, and that voice works.
Wouldn't you agree that there is nothing worse than those nerdy guys who end up being shock jocks and all they do is hide behind a mic and talk smack?
So is that your plan?
No.
I'm Ryan Hoppe, bitches. I'm a shock jock. I'm from Cleveland. I bang out girls. I grew up from Chicago. Windy City. I'll blow my wind in your face, you whore. I'm Ryan Hoppe. Shocking bitches. I beat up a hobo this morning because I was out of change. I'm Ryan Hoppe.
When did you know you wanted to go into comedy? Like, what was that first moment? Who was the first special you saw? Like, what was the first CD you bought?
Good question, Ryan Hoppe. You're not doing too bad today. I never bought a comedy CD. When I was a kid, that wasn't even a thing yet. I watched HBO when I think the very first comedy special that I really loved was Richard Pryor, Here and Now was the first special. And that was when I was like, wow, this guy is extraordinary. This is what I wanted. I would love to be able to do something like that. He was filthy. I was like 6 or 7 years old, and I can recite the entire special verbatim, and I would in my yard. And then Bill Cosby himself, where he's sitting in the chair, one of the greatest specials ever. And then from then, I watched Carlin, and every year HBO would have the Rodney Dangerfield Young Comedian special, which would pretty much bring out several of what would become the top comics in the world. I mean, you saw guys like Bob Saget and Sam Kinison and Louis Anderson, and the names go on and on. So watching those specials, and then there was a real comedy boom in the 80s. I was always like the class clown, so I was like, you know what? That's what I'm supposed to do. I'm stupid. I seem to make people laugh. So it was always in the back of my mind that that's what I wanted to be.
How did your first show go when you performed? Because I know some comedians, they go right out of the gate and they nailed it. Did you bomb? Or was
Really?
it decent?
Nobody comes out of the gate and nails it. Everybody sucks balls out the gate. Nobody's like a champion. It's the worst thing to do. The worst thing is going up on stage for the first time. I got tricked into my first time on stage.
Really?
Yeah, I had a band a long time ago. I sang with a band because I thought I was going to be a singer after high school because I have a pretty good voice.
Ooh, look at you.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying it'd be cocky. I mean, I can sing. I mean,
yeah.
I'm super fat. I can't run. I can't, cartwheel, but I can do things with my voice. And I had a band, and my guitar player was my best friend. He would tell me all the time, hey, you're a comedian. I mean, you're a good singer, but you're great at being funny. And he would try to talk me into going to open mics. And there was a workshop over on Kennedy Boulevard at a place called the Comedy Works was the name of it.
Yeah.
Guys like Carrot Top and Larry the Cable Guy got started off, in the area. That was one of the clubs that they would perform in. They would only allow newcomers to do stage time if they went to a workshop first.
Yeah.
And you had to go to 2 workshops. My buddy told me we were going to lunch, tricked the fat guy into going to somewhere with the promise of food. Instead of lunch, we went to this workshop. And, he tricked me in. Once we got in the parking lot, he's like, come on, man, I want you to check out this comedy workshop. So I went in there, and I'm taking this little comedy workshop and doing exercises. Somehow I come up with 3 minutes of material. I audition, and they let me do 3 minutes that night for the headliner, which at the time was Happy Cole, who still is a pretty popular guy in Florida and cruise ships and things. And then the very next night, I got to do time at Side Splitters.
Really?
Yeah. So it was, I believe that was Carrot Top that night. But after that, I didn't do comedy again until that was 94. So I probably should have said that. After that, I didn't do comedy again until 2000 when the Improv opened.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, I was also a club DJ a few nights a week when I wasn't singing with the band. I was always in a bar, whether I was singing or spinning records. And then when the Improv opened, I won a contest as their grand opening, and then I took off from there. I just started going to any stage I could get to, and that's 15 years ago.
How many contests have you won? Because I guess you won the one 15 years ago. And then how did you win the contest to be a talent on 102.5 The Bone? How did that go?
That was not a stand-up contest. That was actually a radio contest. 2012, they had Tampa Bay's Got Talent. It was a joint venture between Hot 101.5, our sister station right next to us, and 102.5 The Bone. When 102.5 The Bone was still classic rock, and they did talk, but they had to play so many songs an hour and all that. My buddy is Mike Calta, so he texted me and said, hey, there's a contest coming up in a couple of months. You should definitely get in it. So I did. I got in. It was a couple hundred people. I think it was 240 people or somewhere around there. And I waited all day long. It was down at the Ritz in Ybor City. And basically, it was a panel of personalities, including Drew Garabo, Mike Calta, Chase from Hot 101.5. There was Eric Duggins, I believe. He's a NPR guy now. They were all on the panel, and you had 2 minutes, and you had to let it rip. And I got into the final 5 that got you into the online voting, and also a cat named Mo was in the final 5.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so we ended up being number 1 and 2. I won the thing. He got second place. I got a 90-day contract, which got me basically a weekend of radio, and I was lucky. I had a pretty good weekend, and they hired me on as a regular member of The Bone after that. And a couple of months later, Drew Garabo helped a cat named Mo get his foot in the door. So since then, the rest is history, just trying every week to get better and better.
What is it like when you get to host a show every night with the one and only Maurice Javon, a.k.a. a cat named Mo?
Sucks, dude. Sucks my balls so hard, dude. Have you ever done radio with a guy?
Yeah.
Here's how it feels. Start talking. Just say anything.
What's up, Mo?
I know, Ron Hoppe. You're right, Ron Hoppe. Serendipitous precipice. Oh,
Well,
you
Mo,
are
here's the
so
thing.
right,
Yeah.
my friend.
Yeah, Mo. How was your weekend, dude?
Serendipitous, man. You don't even know. I was hanging out with my friend Steve Hurley. Oh, I call him Hurley Burley. And we were looking at cars, and I got me a brand new car. And then I went down, and I got me a hamburger and went to my favorite
What car
restaurant,
did you get?
Taco Bell.
What car did you get, Mo?
I got the Rubicon, bitch. Nah, he's cool.
You do a good impersonation of his, like, very hyper black voice.
I actually have dreadlocks on my crotch. I'm Ryan Hoppe. That was a horrible joke.
Yeah, it really depends between you, Drew, and Galvin on who does a spot-on impersonation of me.
I'm Ryan
Drew does it
spot
right
on.
down to the bit, but
Right,
you do the
impression.
echo of it, you know?
I'm not as talented as Drew Garabo.
I don't sound like that. Holy crap.
Drew Garabo's super famous and rich because he's better. I'm Ryan Hoppe.
Dude, I do not sound like
I'm
that.
Hoppe. My kitty cat died. I miss my kitty.
Now you're being a shock jock.
Too soon. Dude, you move around in your chair a lot. It's crazy.
'Cause I'm
I'm
laughing.
Ryan Hoppe. I'm very antsy. I can't do you. I'm horrible at doing your voice.
Drew does a really good impersonation of me. It's interesting.
He's awesome. But anytime I start doing your voice, it trails off and I turn into somebody else. I'll start off as Hoppe, and then I'm like Gilbert Gottfried like 5 seconds later. It's like, I'm Ryan Hoppe, and I know what's going on right now. I'm Ryan Hoppe.
Like, what is your dream show? Like, if you were to have the Johnny B show on 5 days a week, what would that show be like?
It would be a lot like the show I'm developing on Saturdays. It's 3 hours. I hope to be super entertaining. I've been working on the technical side of radio. I've been funny my whole life. That part's not that hard for me. But doing like a structured radio show is what I've really been focused on, like hitting benchmarks and nailing my teases to keep people around during the commercial breaks, and then paying off the teases when I get back from the commercial break so people don't get pissed off like, hey, what was that thing you said you were going to tell me and then you never told me?
Yeah.
So little things like that. Compelling audio. That's the bottom line. That's the 2 words that I focus on all week long. Compelling audio. What's going to make somebody stay in the driveway of their home, in the front seat of their car, and not go inside while the ice cream is melting in the trunk? Only one thing: compelling audio. Make them laugh, fatso. Make them interested. Keep them in the game.
What are some bits you do on the show?
I do a lot of things. I've been creating stuff like leaving my my phone on during a recording. No, I do a thing like recently we do the Jameis and Johnny show where we take my producer Ryan Adams, who's badass. We cut up audio of Jameis Winston interviews, get his actual voice, and then we take other celebrity audio and we put it together and make it sound like a sitcom from the 80s.
Yeah.
And it's a lot of fun to do, and it's getting better and better every week. We have segments like What the Hell News with Brittany, who's a great personality and a producer on my show. We have a lot of things. We do a sports report called the Sports Scrum. There's a lot of things we do on the show.
Creepy Chavez, too.
Yeah, we don't like to let him talk. I don't turn his mic on unless I really just want to kick him in the balls for everybody. All right, buddy.
All right, before I let you go, where
Yeah.
can people find your work online and on the radio?
Yay, thanks for asking. You can find my website, johnnybcomedy.com, if you want to check out my schedule locally where I'm doing stand-up. I am a single parent, so I don't travel too far out of a 2-hour radius. I am on the air, 102.5 The Bone, 6 nights a week, Monday through Friday on the Bone Daily Rewind Show, 8 to 11, and the Johnny B Show, 10 to 1. That is in the evening on Saturday.
Well, Johnny, I would love to have you on again to get your take on the news, because when you rant, it's good
I'm
radio.
Hoppe. I would love to be back on again. I'm just kidding. I hated this.
This has been Hoppe Hour. Thank you, Johnny B.
Bye!
Happy Hour. Happy Hour.
This is an official broadcast of Hoppe Radio. For more info, check out hopperadio.com and hoppesworld.com.
I thought we was going to take turns on this. How come I'm still in the hole and you still, Is that the Jeffersons?
We traded turns, remember?
No.
You traded one of your turns for 3 of my turns and a turn to be named later.
Well, I tell you this. I'm going to be pissed if I get over there and he ain't changed the pH in our pool.
No, I'm with you on that one.
Hey, Carl, if you wouldn't mind, could you please turn your security grid the off so I can get some sleep?
Hang on, let me think. No.
Dude, you want to move your thing? You almost killed us.
Yeah, are you begging me instead to, mess up your pizza face in front of your girlfriend over there? Because I'll do it, man.
Dude, it's not worth it.
Look at my shit, man. My dad's going to be pissed.
Dude, do you know who his dad is?
He's totally rich. He will totally hook you up, dude. We're drunk.
Are these friends of yours, Fry Man?
Hey, where's the club? I need to piss.
They came from space, you know. Typically, that means, you're somehow connected.
Carl, I've never seen them before in my life.
So then you don't mind if I talk to her?
Her? Yeah, knock yourself out. She's a regular hoe bag.